I'm going to attach my inside liner to my cover. It's going to be a little bit harder to work in frame because the whole album is attached now, but I'll do my best. So basically, my inside liner will fit right here, and it's the same height as the spine. So you can use that as a guide, and you're going to leave a small gap here, and there's going to be a very small gap just close to the binding. So you start by applying tape around the edges of your inside cover. And I also put tape across to hold it in place. That's going to go like that. Now, I'm also going to put a little bit of tacky glue close to my edge here because I want this to really stick. There's going to be a lot of movement in this section where the album closes, and I really want a good bind here. Okay, now before I do that, I'm going to add some tape along the spine and the inside edge of my cover just to make sure that everything is really solid here at the fold. Now, when I put my tape, don't go any higher than the spine because it's going to show through. So I'm going to do this right here, just on the inside here, there. And I'm also going to do it on the edge of my spine, like that. Now, I also want my cardstock to stick inside the gap here so that it doesn't overlap. There's already a piece of tape. If there isn't, put one in now. And I'm going to leave that in for now. I'm going to gradually remove the tape. It's easier to do it a little at a time rather than plunking it down and then realizing that it's not straight. So what I do is I remove the left edge, and I can set this so that it's nice and straight. And yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Now once this piece is on, like that, then I can go and remove the other pieces of tape, and I don't have to worry about my paper moving. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these. I hope I'm in frame here. Okay. By having your tape going horizontally like that, it's a lot easier. Well, actually, you could have it vertically too, doesn't matter. I'm just used to doing it this way. Start laying it flat. Now, before I lay the whole thing down, I'm going to add some tacky glue because I really, really want this to stick in my gap. Come on. Just along that edge. You don't need a whole lot, but just enough to keep it snug in that little gap. Okay, now I can press this down like this. Make sure it's nice and snug. And I press inside the gap where the album folds up. Now press and gradually lift up your album. There, the cover, like that. And you want to let that dry. There. Yeah. So I'm going to keep it closed while it dries a bit. Let's give it a chance to bind. Okay, that should be good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll lean it up against something so that it doesn't lay flat. That way it'll keep drying. Now, I'm going to do my other piece. I've already got my tape on here, and it's the same procedure. Oops, I'm going to start with this piece. I'm ahead of myself. I forgot to add my tape. Here. There we go. Tacky tape, tacky glue. Glue is so thick it takes a while to come out. I think this is the best glue I've used so far, though. It's Eileen's original tacky glue. It works great and it dries fast. Okay. Do that. As I lift my cover, I press in the gap. Make sure this binds really well. And you can use your gap holder too. You don't want to press too hard, but you want to get good through. Okay. So now you're ready to decorate the inside of your album. Now I'm ready to add my pocket. But first I went ahead and matted my page because I wanted a bit more color in there. If you're going to mat your page, do it now before you add your pocket, obviously, and also before you put your eyelet in if you plan on using eyelets, because you don't want to put your eyelet in and then realize you're putting your matting on top of it and it covers the hole for the eyelet. So I went ahead and did that. My pocket is ready to go. I've scored it, trimmed the edge with a decorative punch, and I've added my tape. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach the pocket. And I'm going to just line it up with the bottom of my liner, like that. And then I'm going to mat that a bit later. And I've done the back already. There we go. Now, like I said, you can do something different here with this page if you want. I've rounded the corners on my mat, and I'm going to, on my photo mats, I'm going to mat those later. There we go, I've got my two other photo mats here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my eyelet for the closure. Because I've got some pages sticking out here, I don't want my eyelet in too much because I don't want it to interfere with the pages. So what I do, to measure out the center, take a strip of paper, cut it 9 inches long, the size, the height of your cover, and then you can fold it in two to find the center. And you're going to use this as a guide. Now what I do is I just insert my guide along the bottom edge so I can see where I'm going to punch. I put a mark where I want my eyelet hole to be. I don't want my chain to rub against the paper there. So now I've got my guide ready to go. Actually, it's a good idea to remove these tags so they don't get in the way. Now I'm going to lay this on my front cover, and you can use they have some manual tools that you use with a hammer. I like using this crocodile. It works pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and punch my first hole. My cardboard is quite thick. You don't want to use something that's so thick that you won't be able to get your eyelet in. There's the first one. Put my eyelet in there. Now because my paper is quite thick, let's try this under here, I'm going to press around the edges of the eyelet to make sure that when I attach it, it's going to fold over the paper. Okay, just make sure it reaches. Now I'm going to attach my eyelet. Don't press too hard. You don't want to ruin your cover. There, and the first eyelet is attached. Now let's do the next one. I'm going to do it the same way. I used the wrong size hole. Fix this. Oops. Okay. So both my eyelets are attached. For the hoop closure, it's very simple. All it is I've got a chain wrapped through my eyelet on the bottom and the top, and I've got a toggle attached to one end of my chain and a hoop tied to the other end where my chains meet. And you just insert the hoop through the toggle. There we go, and that holds my album closed. Now there's lots of room for expansion in here. You could always make your chain a little bit lower if you prefer. So to do that, I'm really clumsy at this, so I'm not going to go ahead and make it right now, but I'm going to show you which pieces I'm using. This is my longer piece of chain that attaches to the bottom of my album, like this, and I use one of these little jump hoops to attach the bottom of the chain here to the inside there. Then I use another jump hoop and I attach the toggle to the end. Sorry, this is the toggle. Did I show you the hoop? This is the toggle. Then on the other end, on the other side, I just wrap the chain through, and oops, it's clumsy work. And I attach it at the top like that with my hoop. If it's easier, just use a separate jump hoop to attach after your chain is tied. And then from here, you can also add little dangly charms if you want, and it looks really cute. So, you're ready to decorate your album. I'm not going to do that on video because it always takes me a long time to figure out exactly what I'm going to do. But I've got some ideas, and what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to use this little doily. I'm going to spray it with archival spray so that it doesn't wear out. And I'm going to probably just lay some flowers around the edges. I kind of like that design. These are little, anyways, I'll go through all my embellishments once it's done, and maybe give you a few ideas on that. Okay? Okay guys, here's my completed album. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's too bad the lighting isn't that good because this is really, really nice paper, and I was hoping that you'd be able to see it better. It's a primrose stack. At first I said it was from Recollections, but it's not. It's from Die Cuts with a View, and I bought it at Michael's with one of their coupons. So this is what my cover looks like. I'll go through the embellishments with you. On the side, I've made these flowers. Now the way I made these is I took these regular fake flowers from the dollar store and I removed the bottom stem, and I just take the flower apart like that. And then what I did is I just ran a few stitches in the middle to hold it securely. And then what I did is I grabbed one of these buttons that had the little knob underneath it. I just cut it. It's plastic. They're cheap buttons, plastic. And with my glue gun, I just attach it to the center. Now some of these other flowers, the way I do them is I had these little cabbage carnations. I really like those, and I followed the same procedure except I stuck a cabbage carnation in the middle. So I very rarely, actually I never buy flower embellishments anymore because I like making my own. It's a lot cheaper and it's fun, and you can really customize them. These were done with a paper punch that I had. I only have one flower paper punch, and it suits me fine. And I did the same thing. I just cut two petals, and I just shape them, fold them up with my fingers like that. Okay, and then I just put my little button, I glue my button on the center after I've layered them. I actually have a book I wrote, an ebook, and it's called My Paper Garden. It's on my website, and it shows you how to make all these different flowers, but with no punches. They're templates, and you just cut around the different petals on the templates and you assemble them to make your own paper flowers. And so that's why I don't buy punches anymore. I have my one flower punch, and if I want something different, I just use the templates. Okay, so I've got my flowers on the side. There's my lace and my little pink border that shows. I'm happy about that. On the back, I've got a little die cut with a bit of bling. And there they can just write a title or a date or whatever they want. I'm going to be putting this album up on eBay, so I didn't make it for myself. Now I've got these little stringy things here that I got at the dollar store. This is a die cut. I have a cry cut. I use that to make this die cut. And here are these leaves. These are the leaves that come from these flowers, and I just put them in there. And I've got let's see, a little pearl strand on there. And this is a doily. I sprayed it with archival spray. This here. And that's supposed to help preserve it. I hope it does. Okay. So here's my closure. I'm going to remove that. What I did with my closure is I added some little charms on the side here. I hope you can see that. So I've got a little wings and a key, a little leaf on there. And here there's a little tag too that can write a date or something there and there. Okay. Here's the inside. I'm going to try and keep this in frame, but it's not going to be easy. I set the camera up closer so that you can see better. I put those little flowers I made on this tag. My paper stack comes with some really, really nice little tags that you can cut out. So I added a few extra tags that weren't in the tutorial, but I just cut these out of my paper stack. I've got these little pearl beads on there, and I added some bling here, another flower, a little bit of bling on my waterfall, and then here it's one of those little tags from my album. I just put a piece of tape on the side and they can slide something in there. And here's my folio that opens up. I just put some pearls on there, more flowers. These are little flowers that I got from Michael's for $1.50. That's about the only type of flower I buy because I use them to make my other flowers too. Now I've got some bling here. I got this at the dollar store. Another tag from my paper stack. And again, they can just put something behind there. Now here I put some pearl bling. And that I didn't do anything here. Oh, yes I did. I added a tag on that page. This album is heavy. It's hard to keep in place. Now I've got another die cut here. A little bit of bling. Again, some little pearls. And bling here. A little flower. I love these flowers. I just really, really like making these flowers. It looks nice, I think. A little bit. Now for this tag here, when I made this page, my band is a little bit high, so it sticks out the top if I leave it like that. So what I did is I just put it straight down, which I also like, and I just put these pearl here that help hold it up so it doesn't slide right through. And that's another tag from my paper stack. These are very plain. I put a little die cut butterfly here with a bit of bling in it. More flowers. A little crystal here. Little pearls. Another butterfly. And a little pearl here, a little bit of bling there. Yeah. This was another tag from the paper stock. And this I got from the dollar store. It's a sticker, another tag from the stock, and some little flowers there. So I hope you really enjoyed making this album. Please send me your photos. I'd really, really like to see your completed albums. Take care. Bye.